What is an adult educator?
Well, so basically, for the people who don't know out there, I'm a transsexual man. So I was born female and I transitioned to live my life as a male. So what my sex education is about basically is more geared towards transsexual men. And I educate around how to, have sex with our new bodies and how to sort of navigate the world sexually because we're not men. We want to look like men, but we're not men. So,
Right.
with the absence of those types like genitals, we have to learn to sort of navigate the world. So, my sex education is geared more towards basic transsexual male community.
Amazing. And so you teach them how to have sex without having a female body part?
That's exactly right. So what I try to do is to sort of try to help them navigate through not having surgery to put a penis on because that surgery doesn't work. So I try to help them to navigate the fact that, sometimes you just don't get everything you want. And sometimes you got to figure out in the world how to navigate through that. So it's a way for me to help them not basically want to do that surgery and to just live a life with a situation that isn't easy sometimes, but
Yeah.
I believe sex is important for everyone. And if you choose to have it, you should be able to do it in a way that makes you happy and less focused on, my genitals are this.
And you mentioned that you were born female, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you decided at some point you wanted to be a male.
Yes.
So you never had the sex change from female to male.
So,
I mean the
so
body
yeah,
part.
that's right. That gets a little bit sort of like, I guess really what that means, the sex change is it's really up to you.
Right.
I believe that I did have a sex change on some level because nobody would ever know that I used to be a female, other than if I took my clothes off and got naked in front of you. But that's more of a personal space, right? So that's the other thing I teach. I have to be honest to you if I'm gonna be a sexual partner that I'm not a man. I'm a transsexual man. So I
Oh,
don't have a penis. And so yeah, I had a sex change enough to be able to walk the world comfortable, but I did not do the penis surgery.
okay. And being born a female, what made you wanted to change to a male?
Yeah. Well, I have something that's called gender dysphoria, and it's a mental disorder that I was diagnosed with 31 years ago. And because of my mental disorder, my outside make it sort of like in layman's terms, my outside didn't fit my inside. So I'm still a biological female. That will never change.
Right.
But my outside represents a male space. So when I walk the world, you see me as a man. I don't have to do my pronoun pins. I don't have to explain to you. You'll just see me as Buck. So on some level, I was diagnosed with my disorder, and I fixed it by using surgery and hormones to look like a man. I did that 31 years ago.
So how old are you now?
I'm 61.
Really? And
Yeah.
so why not just change your mental state of being rather than changing your body?
It's a great question. And I did try. Again, being 61, I transitioned at the age of 30.
Right.
I lived my life as a female up until the age of 30 as a gay woman. I navigated the world as a very masculine woman, but it didn't work out for me. So I really did try to do that. But, I'm so much more comfortable. I created everything I created as a transsexual person because I'm more comfortable in my body and I can walk the world much more happy and free. And, being transsexual isn't my identity, by the way. It's just my medical condition. I don't identify as a transsexual person.
So I mean, now you identify as a man or a female? A
I
man.
identify as a man. So
Okay.
the whole point was
So
me.
when you say
Mhm.
you tried to change your mental state of being, what did
Yes.
you do exactly?
Massive amount of therapy. So I probably before I transitioned, I had to go through 2 years of therapy before I could even think about taking hormones. And prior to that, I was doing a lot of therapy, going to see, counselors. I had an addiction to alcohol and drugs. for many years now. I'm 30 years sober, but I had a lot of problems going on with me, and I had to sort of fix those problems. And on the way, part of it was my gender dysphoria and trying to sort of navigate the world. I would have never done this if I could have continued to live as a butch female. I would have not, but I couldn't. It just wasn't working out for me. And so this became the way that I'm the happiest person to walk the world.
When you would go to therapy and counseling and things,
Yeah.
what would they do in those sessions to change your mental state?
Yeah, great question. So remember how long ago I transitioned, and nope, there was very few people like me 30 years ago, and we didn't discuss it and it wasn't talked about. So really my therapist didn't even have a lot of background on how to deal with me. She was a gay woman and I was a gay woman at the time. So really she just discussed with me, what do you mean you feel like a man? What does that mean? It was great because she pushed back on me a lot. And she said, "Well, I don't understand what you mean by feeling like a man." And that's when I started to say, well, you're right. I don't even know what that means to feel like a man. I still don't even know what that means. But that being said, we discussed for 2 years, we just discussed why I feel this way, how I would be much happier, why I don't feel comfortable in this skin. So it was pretty much, therapy is a very important part of my life. I still go to therapy every week. But
Really?
that being said, my therapist just kept pushing me to make sure that after 2 years of doing that, I was going to make the right choice. That's why it's very important that a person like me goes through extensive mental health care before they even make this choice.
So while in therapy, though, all they did was just talk about the problem. They just talked about why
Yep.
you feel this way, but they never gave you any solutions.
Well, this is the solution on some level because my dysphoria went away. I don't feel dysphoric anymore. I don't feel scared to walk the world. I don't feel uncomfortable to go into situations. I don't feel uncomfortable sitting here talking to you. Before I couldn't even talk. I was so shy and disconnected from the world, and I had a drug problem, an alcohol problem. I would take razor blades and cut my arms up, and I was a mess. I was a total mess. And
Oh,
so no, we
man.
also yeah, it was a mess. And we got really deep into why, like my childhood, were there things that happened? I mean, she really dug deep into maybe some kinds of trauma that I dealt with. But I really had a great childhood. I don't want it to come
Yeah,
off
you
that
had
way.
a great childhood, cut your arm and getting drunk and high.
No, that was actually the worst part, but that wasn't my childhood. That was my mid-adult space. That was not
Why did you
childhood.
become an alcoholic and cutting yourself and all that drug? What made you become that?
That's right. So because I think I was hiding what you see here. So, I was walking the world as a woman and people saw me as a woman and I wasn't comfortable. So I would drink, 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 smoke weed, snort cocaine, whatever you could put in front of my face, I would take it. So I didn't have to see the world. And I don't do that anymore. I have no desire to do that. I'm a very happy human. And so the alcohol and drugs came through my depression of being this way and my dysphoria. It sort of helped me not see you and it helped me not have to deal with my problems.
Amazing. And so, do you still have counseling now? You say you're still in counseling, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
while you
Very much.
still in counseling, if you a man,
Well, it's such a nuanced question, right? Especially what you see today. I'm not a man. I always say that. I'm very honest to you. I don't have anything to hide from you. I'm a biological female, but I prefer that you see me as a man and I prefer that you say he. But you know what? If you're going to call me she, it just, I'm so old and I so don't care. It's just not important to me. But that being said, I just feel comfortable looking and feeling like a man. And most people
but why are
always
you
see
still
me.
in counseling though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
Oh, I'm
are
in
you?
counseling. I'm in counseling because, other things come along and life in itself is difficult sometimes. And also, I'm in counseling because I also deal with a lot of hate. I don't know if you know that. I deal with a lot of hate online from the transgender community. I get said things that just you wouldn't even believe it. And I'm a person who transitioned 31 years ago. I'm on some level a pioneer in transitioning. Yet the generation of trans people are very mean and disconnected and not like me at all in any way. So, my therapy helps me deal with life and helps me deal with my work and
Oh, I
all the
see.
hate that I get every day.
And so the transgender people don't like the fact that you are a man, or they don't like the fact you say you're a woman but yet a man.
That's right. You hit it. They don't like that I connect to my biology. I'm a biological female. You can't change your sex. That is ridiculous. And every transsexual person knows that. You can't. It's this new trans space that's trying to say in nonsensical things. I will never lie to you. I have no reason to lie to you.
And
The
so
reason
why
that
didn't you just, instead of being a man on the outside,
yeah.
why not just be a heavy lesbian?
Yeah, I tried. Like I said earlier, I
Like
tried
a real
for
dyke.
20 years. I tried to live as a gay woman.
Really?
Yeah, it just didn't work.
That's amazing. So I want to just talk about this for a minute. When you were born a girl.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
growing up as a little girl, did you feel like a guy when you were a
Yes.
little girl?
Yes. I was what we call a tomboy,
And
right?
what did a guy feel like when you felt like a guy? What was that
Right.
feeling?
It's a great question. I don't have a clue, but
Why did you
it's
think
not.
you felt like a guy then?
I didn't think I felt like a guy. I wanted to be a guy. So feeling is different. I don't know what today you could ask me, what does it mean to feel like a man? I don't know. I have no idea what it means. I know what it means for me to want to be a man and want the world to see me. So when I was a little kid, I was a tomboy. I played with only boys. I hated girl stuff. So, that was the thing that was the feeling. The feeling was to be around other boys and to sort of be accepted as a boy. That's where I felt really happy as a kid. I always hated being with my sisters or Barbie dolls or anything. I had a GI Joe and I played with the dudes. So it's a good question, and I think anybody who's in my position who can answer that is being disingenuous to you, because you can't answer that question.
So what I don't quite understand, since you still identify as a woman on the inside, you say you're a woman, but on the outside you make yourself look like a man.
Right.
Why
right.
are you saying you're a woman?
I don't say I'm a woman.
Oh, you don't say it.
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
identify as a man,
Okay.
but I am a biological identity and biology are two different things.
Oh, I got
My
you.
identification is male. My ID says male. Everything I walk the world as male. On some level, I had a sex change, even though it's impossible to change your sex. So my identification is male, but I'm being
I got
honest
you.
to you and to the world that I did
Okay.
not have a sex change. I just changed my appearance.
When you were growing up, teenage life and younger life, did you date guys or girls?
No,
You
never.
dated
I was very
girls?
attracted to women.
Oh, I see. You never
Yes,
dated a guy?
never.
Never. Oh, okay. And so,
Because so that's the other thing is I was struggling, I think, with my sexuality at the time. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s when you didn't talk about being gay, especially as a woman. And I was an athlete. So that was like doubles, I'm like a butch athlete girl. It's like, you know what I mean? Stereotypical lesbian. That was me.
Amazing.